So this is the mesh from the last example when we were talking about Star Connect, and as you can see, it's been adequately destroyed with us subdividing and joining things and playing with Star Connect, figuring it out, and then finally figuring out Star Connect. We still want to possibly get this mesh back to a manageable state. I mean, we could still theoretically bevel this, but we can't bevel it too much because there's actually too much geo happening here, so we're overlapping something fierce, you guys. So if we go back into edit mode, I always talk about how I use the ability to mark seam as a way to just use sharpen to just quarantine areas for me to use face mode to select something with L, just like you see me doing here, pressing L to select one of these areas that's sectioned off by these lines. And if we go under operations, the final option here is clean mesh, which is a rather important option, but we don't use it a whole lot from edit mode. And by clicking this, we've now cleaned the mesh, but you might have noticed that I overzealously cleaned the mesh. I cleaned the heck out of this mesh. If we change it to selected, you see that it basically only has cleaned what I have selected. So I can actually go through, select an area, just like this one, of course, in face mode. And we clean this mesh as well to clean that side. And this is just an edit mode counterpart of it, basically extending on the same functionality as the version that exists in edit mode, in object mode. It's basically the exact same version. Nothing has changed. It just exists as an option in edit mode where it supports, edit mode context and works correctly. But clean mesh is one of our longest standing tools that hasn't really had to have a whole lot of changes over time due to it just doing the job right the first time. But clean mesh is also something that's been integrated a little more deeply into other tools. Like, let's select this, and if we shift click mark to jump into select tool, we can actually just press C and that will clean this as well. In fact, we can go into circle select, which we're already inside of select tool, and by holding shift we can just really clean up the bottom here, which I really wanted a quick way to select things through boundaries, which I'm pretty sure we already have, but we can just press C and actually clean this as well. So there's multiple ways to go about cleaning a mesh when it comes to hardops, but now we've got this mesh back to its purest sense, and now we can get in here and bevel it to our heart's content. In fact, if we go back into edit mode, we could see that the clean that we did using the select tool maybe wasn't the most optimal clean. So there may be still more work needing to be done for the shift click version that brings up the multi-tool version of clean at this time. I mean, leaving points is definitely unacceptable, so we're going to be checking into that after this production. But we'll pause this and go into object mode, and we'll just run classical clean mesh and just know that clean mesh does the job.